All right, now joining me live on the broadcast is my guest Kanika Bhardwaj, Advocate Kanika Bhardwaj, who's a Supreme Court advocate, joins me live on the telecast. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. It's a big breaking that we're tracking at this point of time. The first reaction to the probe conclusion of the serious misconduct and the removal of the proceedings, ma'am.
So see, the first reaction that I would want to give is, see, since the very beginning, I have been saying this, that if the judiciary is in question, if the judges are doing such kind of activities, obviously the trust of the public in the entire justice system would be shaken. And in my previous statements also, in my previous interviews also, I've been saying that the proper procedure must be opted in which the reality should come in front of the people. And not only this, I'm also actually right now concerned about that. This is okay that whatever report that we have got is fine, but then now when will the impeachment process happen? Because when we talk about the impeachment process, it's a long process and it takes time. If we see the history also, if we see the past events also, I mean, how many judges have been removed from the impeachment process? The data is like I don't know, the data is very less actually, because I hardly know any judge as of now that has been removed by impeachment process in our country. So this process is not only very slow, but this process is actually, it requires a lot more efforts. Now, when will this happen? Now, when will Justice Yashwant Varma will actually be removed after this report is actually my question, because now the justice should happen as soon as possible to at least ensure the public trust in the judiciary process, or else the entire trust of the public will be shaken.
Well, Advocate Kanika Bhardwaj, in fact, continues to be with us, and thank you very much, ma'am, for being with us at this point of time. And we are also reading the witnesses' testimony that has been attached in the report. And let me firstly go across to my colleague Sambhav Sharma, who continues to be with us. Sambhav, what are you picking up before we read out to the testimonies of the witnesses that have been attached in the report? To share the latest of the biggest takeaways that the report and the probe report has rather exposed. All right, viewers, now before we get to my colleague, let's also understand how exactly the pointers which have been attached very categorically in the report for the witnesses' testimony state, where the presence of cash in the storeroom proved by the eyewitnesses. Now, we are reading out exactly the report context pointers which pertain to the regard of the sub-issue, where the statement of various witnesses were recorded. The 10 eyewitnesses who have stated before the committee about the presence of cash in the storeroom are as follows, and as I can see, third witness, namely Ankit Sehwag, who is a fire officer of the Delhi Fire Services, states that after receiving the information from Pradeep Kumar and Parvindra Malik of these personnel on the call, there were currency notes which had caught fire inside the storeroom. I personally checked by peeping inside the room with the help of the torch and found out that large number currency notes of the denomination of 500 rupees were half burnt. Because of water spray, the burnt currency notes had become wet and had also been signed by fire. But from whatever was left of the unburnt notes, it was visible that they were of 500 denomination. When asked as to whether he made any Panchnama report, the witness informs that this is a job of Manoj Mehlawat, who is a station officer. The said Pradeep Kumar, the person whose quote we are reading out, and Parvindra Malik had further told that they had informed about the currency inside the storeroom having caught fire to their in charge station officer Manoj Mehlawat. Now, we move forward with another witness testimony that has been attached in the report as a part of the evidence, and Pradeep Kumar, who is another fire official. The first respondents to this fire call were the fire officials, and now as we are looking at these testimonies, it's also time to speak to my colleague Sambhav Sharma, who continues to be with us on this very findings. We are only reading out the testimonies of the witness Sambhav, and as a report exposes that there has been cash which was burnt as the fire call was received. The report which quotes the statement of the fire officials in the Delhi Fire Services states. What are you picking up?
Well, 10 days, over 50, around 55 witnesses and several sitting and visits to the scene of the accidental fire that started around 11:35 p.m. on March 14 at the official residence of the then Delhi High Court Judge Justice Yashwant Verma. Everything is encapsulated in this report, and as you rightly pointed out, different the testimonies of different witnesses has also been put in the report and encapsulated in the report of this three-judge panel. And there are a lot of important pointers which we were discussing out earlier, and I want to mention few of them again here. And see such kind and also the kind of in I mean the kind of uh, half-burnt currency notes seen and found during the process of dousing the fire in a highly and also very are very highly suspicious, and more so are not of small amount or denomination, which could not have been placed in the storeroom. This is what the panel notes in its report. As per the panel's report, and I quote, the half-burnt currency notes seen and found during the process of dousing of fire are highly suspicious items, and more so are not of a small amount or denomination, which could not have been placed in the storeroom without the tactic or active consent of Justice Yashwant Varma or his family members, unquote. So this is what the panel has noted in its report. A three-judge panel constituted by the then Supreme Court Chief Justice of India, Justice Sanjeev Khanna. And in its recommendation, the panel said, and I quote, keeping in view the direct and electronic evidence on record, this committee is firmly of the view that there is sufficient substance in the allegation raised in the letter of the Chief Justice of India dated 22nd March 2025, and the misconduct found proved is serious enough to call for initiation of proceedings for the removal of Justice Yashwant Varma, who is the judge of the Allahabad High Court, unquote. So this is what is the recommendation of this three-judge panel, which has submitted its report in the first week of May to Justice Yashwant, to the then Chief Justice of India, Sanjeev Khanna, who later on forwarded this report to President of India and the Prime Minister of India for further action against Justice Yashwant Verma. And also at least 10 witnesses examined by the panel acknowledged that having seen a burnt or half-burnt currency notes, and also as you were talking about, one witness, for example, said, and I quote here, as I entered, I noticed that on the right-hand side and in front, there was a large pile of cash of rupees 500 denomination lying on the floor, and I am not sure whether any such note of 500 rupees denomination were there on ledge or not. I was shocked and surprised that such large amount of cash, which was there on the floor, which I saw for the first time in my life, unquote. So this is what is said by one of the witnesses in the report, and it is pointed out in the report. It is written in the report, and this is the testimony of one of the 55 witnesses gave their testimonies in this to the particular panel, and who later on submitted report to the Chief Justice
As we are
of
also
India.
reading the further witnesses' testimony that the report has attached, and let me also read out another testimony of the fire officer, the Pradeep Kumar, who has stated of the incident while narrating it and giving the statement to the probe committee, saying that while dousing the fire, we were standing outside the storeroom and pointing the jet of the water inside the storeroom. But without entering the storeroom, when I could enter the storeroom, I felt something touch my feet. On close scrutiny, I found out that there was something which appeared like currency notes, which became visible because of reflection. I immediately informed Prakash Chand Meena, who was standing immediately outside the storeroom. Now, Prakash Chand Meena thereafter informed the station officer, and then he came with a rechargeable torch and came inside the storeroom. On the instruction of the station officer Manoj, he pulled down certain burning debris on a ledge. Another witnessed testimony that we are now moving forward to, which also pertains to what happened from the incident which had raised concerns on the practices of the judicial life in the case of Justice Yashwant Varma. Manoj Mehlawat, who is a station officer, states that I did take 2 photographs of the storerooms where the fire had erupted. I was told by Prakash Chand Meena that there were currency notes in the room which had caught fire, which I also saw at the point of time. The notes which were visible at the site were of the 500 denomination, and they were signed by fire and also got wet in the process of dousing. The embers were still burning off the shelf, and therefore we pulled them by instructing Pradeep Kumar to do the needful and to spread out the debris to reduce the heat. As I quote the statements by Manoj Mehlawat, who is a station officer, he said that I cannot tell for sure whether the fire occurred by short circuit. Though there was no electric heater in the room, the currency notes were being pulled down from the shelf and had fallen during the process. The witness identifies the site in question when the fire incident had taken place, when shown the video sent to the committee by the office of the Honorable Chief Justice of India. The witness admitted later that it is his voice whereby he is saying Mahatma Gandhi mein aag lag gayi hai bhai. Witness denies that the video has been made by him, though he admits that he had taken the 2 photographs, but the video had been sent to him. All right, now Sambhav joins me with more updates. Sambhav, while this has raised very pertinent questions, and the testimonies only give out the perspective that the fire at the residence of Justice Yashwant Varma had been caused not by the accident as per the statements. What are you picking up?
Absolutely, Simran. And also, as we read page number 17 of this particular panel report, and there are few questions framed, and I am reading it. Pointer 26 is the aforesaid first issue is foundational to the controversy, and thus the answer to the said issue will decide the fate of the issue number 2 and 3. And for further convenience, the committee framed the following sub-issues. The first question is whether cash was present in the store. The second question, whether the storeroom is located in or outside the premises of this particular 30 Tughlaq Crescent, New Delhi, where that used to reside. And the third question, what is the justification of Mr. Justice Yashwant Varma as regards presence of cash in the storeroom? So these were the 3 questions framed by the committee, and later on committee probed on each question. Took testimonies of around 50 witnesses, and finally came up with a report.
All right, Sambhav, continue to be with us on the broadcast. We are also getting more updates as this entire case of questions on the judicial, judicial ethics is concerned. While we are further reading out the testimonies of witnesses that has been attached in the report. Now, Bhanwar Singh, who is the driver of the Delhi Fire Services, the testimony has been taken on the 26th of March. It states that as I entered, I noticed that on the right hand side and in front there was a large pile of cash only of 500 denomination lying on the floor. I am not sure whether any such notes of 500 denomination were there on the ledge or not. As the driver states that I was shocked and surprised that such large amount of cash which was strewn on the floor, which I saw for the first time in my life. Pradeep Kumar and Pavindra Malik were also working inside the storeroom where I was also present. They were busy dousing the embers. The witness was shown the video accompanied with the letter from the office of Honorable Chief Justice of India, which is marked as Exhibit 6th. The witness, after having seen and heard the video, stated that the same is of inside of the storeroom, which was on the fire of the bungalow number 30, Tughlaq Crescent, Tughlaq Road, and the fire official who is working has been identified as Pradeep Kumar, fire official, in the video wearing helmet and dousing the fire. I do not know who was making the video, but I can identify the voice of Manoj Mehlawat uttering the words Mahatma Gandhi mein aag lag gayi hai. Sambhav Sharma joins me with more updates. Sambhav, now this is in fact a matter of utmost importance as far as the ethics of the judicial life and the laid down principles is concerned. The big question remains also that what happens to be afterwards, as the testimonies did point out at a serious breach. All right, viewers, now on that note, that is a big story that we are tracking at this point of time very closely. Now with more news and updates on the other side, stay tuned.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.